At Philip's words, Charlie smiled slightly and said, "Uncle, Orus Hill still has a lot to do, so I can't stay back." Philip heard this, nodded lightly, and sighed softly. "You will often come to Eastcliff to see your uncle in the future. Lennon and I are looking forward to your return to Eastcliff for development." Charlie just responded, and didn't say more. Philip also tacitly did not ask this question again. Instead, he asked, "Charlie, you said you are going to attend the birthday banquet of your friend's grandma tomorrow. Do you have the gift ready?" Charlie said, "Not yet, I plan to go to the market to have a look later." Although Charlie has a rejuvenation pill that is of great significance to the elderly, he and Elsa's grandma had never even seen each other. Naturally, it was impossible to prepare such an expensive gift for birthday celebration, so he still planned to buy more than 100,000 gift from market. The gifts on the left and right, expressing heart, are almost the same. When Philip heard this, he smiled and said, "I have a fan in my house." The fan face is a picture of good fortune and longevity painted by Mr. Chi Baishi. The fan bone is a fine leaf red sandalwood, coupled with a master-level engraver. You might as well take it to give the other party as a birthday gift. Charlie said hurriedly, "Uncle, how can this be? How can I take your things to give away? I should buy one myself." Philip insisted, "What is there to be polite between you and your uncle? A fan is nothing but a fan, which is not worth much. But because the subject is a picture of a happy birthday, it is still very good to use it as a birthday gift for the elderly." As he said, Philip hurriedly exhorted, "This is the case, don't turn away from your uncle, let alone see outsiders. Otherwise, uncle will be angry." Seeing his resolute attitude, Charlie nodded and said, "Then thank you, uncle." The next morning, Charlie declined Philip's kindness to send him a car, and walked out of Goo's house alone holding the long gift box he gave. His wife Claire sent him an address, and that address was Dong's villa. Dong's villa is not far from Goo's. A total of more than 20 minutes by car. In Eastcliff, the Dong family can only be regarded as a second-rate family. Moreover, in the second rate, it is still the one at the end of the crane. In the past few years, the family's career has declined severely. If it hadn't been for Elsa's aunt to marry the Kevin family, the Kevin family had given the Dong family a hand. The Dong family's sphere would have fallen to the level of a third-rate family. But this is Eastcliff after all. Even if it is a family at the end of the second tier, placed in other second-tier cities, it can definitely become the top. Because of this, although the family has fallen a little, the family's mansion is very luxurious. A grand luxury villa costs at least 300 million. Charlie's taxi could only stop at the door of the villa area, and the security management was very strict, so he could only call Elsa after getting off the bus at the door and let her come out to pick it up. When Elsa heard that Charlie was here, she ran out almost happily. Today's Elsa dressed very beautifully, and because it was her grandmother's birthday, she also deliberately put on some light makeup, which looked very dignified and generous. Upon seeing Charlie, Elsa said happily, "Charlie, you are here." As she said, she ran up and hugged him by the arm, pulling him to walk in, and said with excitement, "Come, I will introduce my parents to you." Charlie hurriedly pulled out his arm and said awkwardly, "Elsa, we can't do this, it's not appropriate." Elsa deliberately curled her lips and said, "What's wrong? It's not good to be close to friends." Charlie touched his nose. I am your girlfriend's husband after all." Elsa said slightly perfunctorily, "I know, the fake husband, you have been married for 4 years, and don't know when you can play the game of the house." Just as she was talking, a limited edition Bentley car drove up to the front and stopped beside them. The rear seat window was lowered. In the car, a middle-aged woman dressed in luxurious clothes looked at Elsa and asked, "Elsa, why did you come out?" When Elsa saw the woman, she hurriedly smiled and said, "Oh, Aunt. Where is second uncle?" The middle-aged woman in the car said, "He is still busy. He will come over before the luncheon birthday banquet." Elsa asked again, "What about my brother?" The middle-aged woman said helplessly, "I didn't see him last night. I was mad at him." You said that this kid doesn't have a long memory at all. When his body recovers, he doesn't come home again. If you look back, you must help." Elsa smiled bitterly. "Aunt, I don't dare to talk about my brother's temper. As soon as I talk to him, he will bark at me." The middle-aged woman sighed and said, "This child is becoming more and more disobedient." With that, she looked at Charlie next to Elsa and asked with a smile, "Oh, isn't this young man your boyfriend?" Elsa glanced at Charlie and smiled shyly. "Not yet." "Isn't it?" The middle-aged woman said the word, "not yet," heavily, and said with a smile, "Then when can it change from, not yet, to, yes?" Elsa said embarrassedly, "Oh, Aunt, you are too gossipy. Come in quickly. Grandma was talking about you." The middle-aged woman smiled and said, "Do you want me to take you too for a while?" Elsa hurriedly waved her hand. "No need, we just walk in, it's not far." The middle-aged woman nodded. "Okay, I won't quarrel with you, I will go in first." After that, the Bentley car slowly drove into the gate of the villa area. Charlie was a little helpless at this time, and hurriedly said to Elsa, "You must never introduce me to others like this. What if they misunderstood? What if you know it at first? Then someone asks me who am I, you say I am your girlfriend's husband." Elsa pouted. "It's just a joke, why bother to be so serious?" Charlie said seriously, "This matter must be true. This is a matter of principle." Elsa had no choice but to nod her head. "Well, a matter of principle, it won't work if I don't say it." As she said, she hurriedly changed the subject. "Let's go in quickly, it's too early."